Have you ever wondered what happens to our body when we do not take responsibility? Often we hold back from doing something because of our weak abilities or due to fear and doubt, without even giving ourselves a chance to try it. But do we? Let us think about how much opportunity we give to such an opportunity. In this video, we will see that when we shirk responsibility, we waste the opportunity to recognize and achieve our full potential. At the time of taking responsibility, we fail to fulfill our responsibility. We avoid denying ourselves by leaving things incomplete, and this leads to a constant feeling of hesitation and self-crisis in our lives. This video will teach you that when we believe in ourselves and our abilities, we can face any challenge. And how can a miracle happen in our work? So let's start the story without any delay. There was a small village. There used to be a person in the village. That person also had the same problem. He always doubted his own abilities. There was always relief in dilemma. Whatever less he did not like it at all. He used to do it only out of compulsion so that his family could run easily. They could get bread twice a day. They could fill their stomach. And he always lost in dreams of the relief that someday he will get a lot of money and he will become the richest man in the city. He will have everything that a rich person has. He will have all the comforts and facilities. He will have everything. With this thought in mind, that there will be no shortage in his mood, he always used to worship his God. He always thought that with the blessings of my God, a miracle will happen in his life, and he will become a very rich person. That is why he worked day and night, morning and evening, only for the sake of his God. He was lost in his devotion while worshiping, and whenever anyone asked him to do any work, he used to say that whatever will happen, he will do it. Who am I to do anything? Everyone is the same. But in reality, there was a dilemma within his mood to do anything. He was always indecisive. He never knew how to reach any decision, and whenever he could not complete any task, he used to have various excuses like I tried a lot. But this task, this work cannot be completed. It is impossible to do this work. It is very difficult. Thus he had many kinds of excuses by which he used to convince himself. His wife and his family members used to taunt him and make him listen to different things. But the man was not late in doing anything. One day his wife says to him, "Hey, why don't you do something? How long will our family continue like this? You are late working and the money is not enough to cover the household expenses. After all, you are not doing anything. And why not do less?" On this the person says, "As if my master wishes to keep it. We will have to live as it is. No matter how hard I try, I cannot make him more money unless my master wants one day." His child was very sick, and he needed good treatment, but the man did not have money. Then his wife came to the man after getting bread and started eating. "Hey, go and arrange some money, otherwise our child will die like this." But the person says, "Oh fool, why do you worry? Nothing will happen to him. My God is with me, and he will take this as a child. He will not let anything like this happen. After all, I worship him so much. I worship him day and night. I worship him, that's why. Nothing will happen to our child. Don't worry." Hearing this from your husband, the man's wife came out of the house and hid him everywhere, talked to people everywhere, asked for money from people, asked for help from people, but no one helped her. No, she did not even get any money from the story, and after finishing it, she came back home. Here the man was singing the praises of his God and praying to him to heal his child. The child was crying continuously due to pain. His pain was becoming unbearable, due to which his screaming was increasing even more. The child kept screaming for a long time, but the person did not care at all, and suddenly the child's screaming stopped completely as soon as he heard the child. The person started sleeping after seeing the sound of band. "It seems that my Lord has cured my child." He thanked the Lord and said, "I knew that you will definitely cure my child. After all, I worship you so much. I knew that you would never leave me." Seeing that his child was not making any noise, his wife rushed to him and shouting loudly, hugged the child and screamed loudly when he heard this. After seeing everything, the man had realized that his God had not saved his child, but now his child was. He was no more in this world, and when he realized this, he was deeply shocked. He was not able to understand how this could happen. He was so devoted to his Lord and worshipped so much. Then how did all this happen to him? Many such questions were arising in his mind, and he kept wondering here and there regarding those questions, and like this many days passed, day after day, week after week, and months after months, but till now he did not get any answer to his questions. Whenever he talked to anyone about this, everyone would give him only one answer, that it seemed there was something lacking in your devotion. Perhaps that is why God did not listen to you, but he had no faith in anyone's words. He was not satisfied with the answer. He was in great pain because of his child. He was completely broken. One day he was passing through some road, but due to the strong sunlight, he fell on a tree. He sat in the shade, and remembering his child, he started running loudly. A saint was passing through this path. When he heard the sound of a person running, he went near him and asked him what was the matter. "After all, you are crying so loudly like this. Is there any trouble today? Tell me what is the matter." On this, the person told him all his things to that sadhu, and says to the sadhu, "It is Master. What is my fault? After all, what did I do? My wife holds me responsible for my child's death. You tell me, why would I want to kill my child? I was just praying to God for his safety, so what have I done wrong?" That's why that master, I told her, said to the person, "If your child had got treatment, would he have been cured?" On this, the person said, "Yes, he would have definitely been cured." Then the saint asked him, "So why didn't you get the treatment?" On this, the person said, "Master, I didn't have enough money to get him treated." Then Master, he asked the person why he didn't have money. Then the person replied, saying, "Master, where I work less, I get very less salary, and this makes my life difficult. It is very difficult to run a household in such a situation. How can I add more money?" Then they say to the person, "If your child has died due to lack of money, then why are you blaming God? He did not say that don't earn more money. He didn't tell you to keep working less where you get less salary. God didn't tell you to rely on me." Hearing this, the man went to a small position in the kingdom and told those sages, said, "Master, then shouldn't we seek God's help? Shouldn't we worship him?" That's why he says to the person, "Your God is none other than you. He is within you. He sees with your eyes. He works with your own hands. You walk on your feet, and when you are not ready to do anything, then how can they help you? You yourself have forced your God to remain helpless, and only then does the person say to them, 'Okay, your words are very bitter. You are singing, but whatever you have said is true, story or story. I knew from inside that I was responsible for the death of my child. If only I had collected a little more money, if I had worked a little hard with people, if I had asked for help, my child would definitely be alive today. He would have been with me." Having said this, the person started running with great force. After running, he calmed down again and said to the guru, "Master, whenever I go to do any work, I do not have so many resources. There was no money, no support from anyone, and whenever I went to do any work, my mind would have a doubt as to whether I would be able to do this work or not. That's why the saint took the person towards a tree. He points and says, 'Do you know how to climb a tree?' The person says, 'No, Master, I have never climbed a tree till date, nor do I know how to climb a tree. But why are you asking me this?' The sage says, 'I will tell you now.' He made a dog sitting nearby angry by throwing a stone, and he immediately climbed the nearby tree and sat down, and now he saw the person in front of the dog. The dog got angry and ran towards the person. The person did not understand anything. He was just running fast when suddenly he saw a tree. The person went to it and immediately climbed it and sat down. After some fear, when the dog calmed down and went away from there, the saint came to the person and said to the person, 'What happened? You were saying that you don't know how to climb a tree. Then how did you climb this tree?' On this, the person says, 'Master, oh dear, why, but suddenly I climbed this tree. I don't know how I did it, but I had to do it to save my life.' On this, the saint started smiling and tells a person that compulsion makes a person do everything, even if he likes the work. Whether or not it happened, when your life was at risk, you climbed this tree and sat there. Why didn't you remember your God at that time? Why didn't you call him to help you? If you wanted, you could have just sat there and remembered your God. You could have called for your protection, but you did not do so. You easily climbed the tree to save your life because it was about your life. But when your child's life was at stake, you were worshiping God. You were praying to Him that He should take the life of your child. You were running away from your responsibility. But if you had fulfilled that responsibility, the situation would have been different today. Hearing such bitter words of that sadhu, the person became even more sad. Runs loudly and says, "Master, you tell the truth. I am responsible for the death of my child. I should not have done this. I should have added more money. If I had done this, I would be able to give birth to my child today. I know the child, but what should I do now? I am not able to understand anything." On this, the sage tells the person that what has happened cannot be erased, but what is going to happen can definitely be created. So rise above your excuses and let go of your hesitation, mind. If any dilemma arises in your mind before starting any work, eliminate it completely. Then you will see that everything will happen as you want. Whatever you want to achieve, you will be able to achieve it. Your mind will start becoming strong. You will be able to rise above the dilemma and take a clear and unambiguous decision. After that, your mind will never have to make any excuse. On this, the person tells her with his hand, "But it is Master. Whenever I go to do any work, my mind is very weak." The post goes, "I get very nervous. How can I make my mind strong? Can you tell me any solution for this?" This master says, "Yes, I have a solution for this too." Then the person says, "Master, which solution? Tell me." Meanwhile, the sadhu said, he got hold of the man's hand and brought him to a riverbank and asked him, "Do you know how to swim?" On this, the guru says, "Why are you asking? I will tell you right now." Saying this, he pushed the person from behind, and the person fell straight into the river. He was hitting his hands in the water of the river. He was making every possible effort to save himself. When the saint saw that the man was drowning, he went and pulled him out of the water. As soon as the man came out, he started laughing. He was scared and very scared. Somehow he gathered courage and stood up this time. He was very nervous after seeing the sadhu. He was very scared. He started trying to run away as soon as he saw them. But once again, the sadhu caught hold of him forcefully and pushed him into the river. He started throwing his hands in the river so that someone could take him as a child. He started shouting, "Help! Help!" But there was no one around to help him. Then the sadhu lowered him into the water and made him stand straight by force. The person found that the water in the river was only up to his shoulders. On this, the sadhu says to the person, "Now you tell me how you can dive in such shallow water. If you wanted, you could have stood straight and faced this situation, and you also have to. You would have realized that the water in this river is only up to your shoulders, and there is no need for you to work so hard like this. You would not have panicked or tried to run away from this situation, but you always faced only one fear. And that is that if you go into the river and you do not know how to swim, then your death is certain. And the reason is that you were not able to find out the correct situation. You did not even find out how much water is there in this river." Once again, the sage took the person out of the river, and after waiting a bit fearfully, he once again pushed the person into the river. This time, the person was aware of the situation. He knew it. That now, as soon as he steadied himself, as soon as he made himself stand on his feet, this water would come only up to his shoulders, and he did exactly the same. He stood straight. Only then the saint said to the person, "Do you?" Now to strengthen my mind, on whether the mantra has been received or not, the person says, "Yes, I have understood how to strengthen my mind." Further, Gurudev tells him to the person, "Now you understand that doing anything in this world is not such a big problem. The problem is this. It means that we do not want to do anything. Whenever we feel scared or any problem arises, we should delve into it, assess it, understand it until that problem becomes a possibility, and from within you we can overcome it to face the situation. Our mind becomes strong in this way. Today your fear of water has ended, but the reality is that you still do not. Reality is that you still do not know how to swim, and unless you know how to swim, you will not be able to go into deep water. So I have one thing. Always remember, there is nothing in this world that you cannot do. You just need to stand by yourself. You need to support yourself. So stop deceiving yourself. Get yourself out of the dilemma. Stop hesitant in yourself. Recognize your power. You can do anything you want to do." Hearing this, the man realized his mistake, and he bowed to the guru and returned back to his home. From now on, He will try to correct his mistakes every day. He had already helped in strengthening his mind. Whenever he was faced with any situation, his mind would have been afraid to face it. If his mind was afraid, he would have stood up to the situation and faced her, and would have fulfilled his responsibilities because that's what we do. Responsible people stand firm. He had given up his mind's hesitation and his dilemmas, and had taken her hand. Even though he felt scared in the work, he definitely did the work, which made his mind even stronger. Now neither did his mind have any hesitation, nor did he talk about any kind of fear to anyone. He was completely prepared to face every situation, and in the same way his mind's fear had ended, and he was able to live a better life. Now whatever he wanted, he was fully capable of achieving it. Friends, I hope that you have definitely learned something from today's video. Thank you for joining me on this journey of embracing simplicity and finding the true essence of life. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for more thought-provoking content. And please share to one person you love the most. In last, I just want you to say climb higher, aim higher with Arise Aspire.